welcome back to my channel. It's a building journey episode 2. I wanted to do this like building journey instead of like Otoh Gunga because it's very specific. I'm not always going to be working on that. I always have like Lego projects in the background, obviously, over there and over there. And for the past like 3 days, I've been working on this Mercedes AMG. It has around like 1,642 parts, and legitimately, it's one of the most insane builds I've ever like put together. The first bag was literally just the front suspension and axles. And for me personally, Technic has been one of the most challenging because if you mess up on one step, you have to like rebuild the entire thing. And you just have to be very meticulous with every single step. You can't miss one. If you do, you're screwed. So that's why I'm like, take every single step very seriously. Kind of like with this channel, like every step you go in the right direction, that's another step you go not in the wrong direction, so that's always good.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire.
Welcome everyone back to my channel. It's episode 7 of Building Otoh Gunga. It's 12:30 in the afternoon, and it's July 5th. And I know it's been like a year and a half or a year and some change since I started working on like a building series episodic episode type series. And that's mainly because all the ideas and plans they take time. And here's pretty much everything. This is just a vague outline of like every design, every city, every comparison contrast that I want to do. I'm doing it. I'm not saying next year, next tomorrow, because that doesn't exist. Only the now. So all of this has taken a year to plan down to the T. I know exactly like where every design room should be. And then I left some area for like creative aspect avenue. That way I don't have to like confine myself. Oh, I didn't plan this area, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's the beauty of it, because I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's where like my creativity shines. So here in the themed Lego display room, I'm gonna take this entire mock, not take all of it apart, take half of it apart. Well, 2/3 of it apart from this point. All of this is gonna be disassembled, and I'm gonna take this 2x5 section right here, or 2x4, and take it to the other room right now. Take this section, totally take that apart. So I'm only left with this clone base. And that's where I'm gonna build everything on top of. And so I'm gonna like reinforce this, have a nice roof, Coliseum, and a feed arch. But this thing's gonna be like, it's gonna take up the whole table. That's why I always planned everything to be revolved around this entire section. And then Otoh Gunga is gonna be like the deeper depth. The only problem is like I don't know. I want to do underground, but then the table it's a table section, so I'm gonna cross that bridge when I cross it. But I'm still gonna design everything that I want, and then figure out over time. So let's do that. my god. It's clear. It's empty. I light on it just to show you guys how big this area is on camera. It's like, oh, it's a small screen, so it's small. But no, I was head here, toes there. Don't mind all this stuff down here. I'm gonna clean that up when I clean it up. Not overwhelming, but like just freedom. You got time, space, and energy. And I got all of those things in my life. And there's no reason why I can't just do all my dreams. And then later in life, when I have a kid with a lovely person, they can enjoy this stuff too. So it's not like, oh, it's mine. It's mine forever. It's gonna be the world's. So that's why I literally took this to a convention, block party, and the kids loved it. They loved playing with it. Loved little minifigures everywhere. Loved the ships. A lot of people knew exactly it was Theed, the color-based scheme. It was like all cohesive. So it was like, oh, there's that Theed? I'm like, yep. When I clean this out, I'm like, wait a second. I could do the Scrooge McDuck thing where I like lay all your parts out and just like do a little angel, snow angel, but it would be like Lego. That'd be kind of funny, but why not? And this is all like the buildings and sets that were there. This is on the box of 1313. Brought it in the house with my dad. And it's like, I had to put it somewhere. So I'm walking over to this room where all the magic happens. Literally magic. This is this is Theed, what you guys saw. Just all layered up in chunks. It's insane seeing the groundwork I laid to get to this point. This isn't short. This is still like 3 feet tall. From here to there. Looking at all of it, I'm like, that's pretty awesome. I get to just build whatever I want. Of course, it takes time and energy. But if you don't put that time or energy into something, not a person, but a thing, like art, any artsy fartsy stuff, just continue doing that. Don't tell, other people say, oh, you suck, or, oh, well, they suck because they didn't do all this stuff, And the nice thing about this, it's all Lego, so I could just take it apart, put it with the rest of the parts, and then, redesign, reimagine, re-envision, freshness. I like the consistency of the flow of building here, sorting, just all the big old triangle. You work here, then work here, and have all the parts right there, and then you can design whatever you want over there. But it's always that like constant flow. If you don't have that work flow, you're gonna be abruptly stopped by some sort of like barrier to entry. For my barrier to entry is a big barrier, like all that Lego. Still have it over there. But it's the future plans, you gotta have your past plans in front of you. Well, your past plans behind you, your future plans ahead of you, and you're currently working on a project. So this is my future, like reworking project. And then that's like still my future as an ice cream machine. And then over there, that's the past. So, and if you guys remember, the OG watchers, OG viewers, from 5 years, 6 years ago, this is where 1313 was built. And it was not this big. It was 3.5 base plates in length. From there to there. Now this is 5 in length. And this is the magical beauty of design. I don't have to like, oh no, what am I gonna build next? Oh, I know what I'm gonna build next. I know exactly how, where, when, what I want. I got banks, stables, canals, betting shops, restaurants, concession stands, fish markets, a harbor, and that's everything I desire in that section. But then it's like, that's just that one section of like here. But then I want to do like a prison block, aqueducts, the Otoh Gunga city, the Theed archway, all the different styles of buildings I get to have modular. And this is my compare contrast, my dream chart. So you got Otoh Gunga, Theed, and 1313. With all the similarities, they have to be interactive, modular, breathtaking, narrative driven. I have restaurants, creative, immersive, and these interconnecting ones are like the similarities between Otoh Gunga and 1313. Murky, chaotic, and Theed and Otoh Gunga is warm, great creatures, large boulders. And then Theed is very light, it's very cheerful, it's gonna be cheering audiences, intentional, and have canals everywhere. 1313, it's really dark, have a lot of LEDs, smoke, it's dirty, aged, war stricken, occupied, huge riots, it's cold, claustrophobic, unintentional. And then here it's like the middle, the in between, the Otoh Gunga is like literally it's open and free, it's deep crevices and caves, and there's sea creatures or sea enemies. But they all have like this is dark or this is dark and this is light, so it's complete polar opposites, I kind of realized. And so that's what I want to build. So I brought out the sketch pad, and it's very nice. My dad got it for me. It's one of the big sketch pads. So I already sketched everything I wanted to sketch. But now I'm like, I want to change it up a little bit. So first off, you pick a point, you go there, you go there, you go there. Okay, we got a rectangle. That's the platform that we want to build. Now, when you walk up to it, what's the feeling, what's the motion you want to get from it? And this whole section down here, I want this to be Otoh Gunga. So we got the cube. Okay, this is the deep underwater section, and this is the land. Just for point of reference, a little... It's a little Otoh Gunga city right here. Want a few of these. So it'd be roughly like in the middle. That way, that's the thing you see the most, and it's like up front. So I've been doing a lot of sketches. I wanted the Colosseum to be more in the over here, but now I'm like I want to change it up a little bit. So it's not fully built yet, so I can change up whatever I want. I can make that that clone base section actually underground, kind of like down here. That's fine, whatever. So clone base a Otoh. I can't remember if it's an O or A for Otoh. And it's O. Keep on doing A for some reason. Because it sounds like Otoh, so A. But it's actually O. That's Otoh Gunga up here. And this is the clone base. And let's just have... I actually didn't want the Colosseum to be up front. I wanted it to be like more mid. Because every great building has a very grand scale entrance. It's always like... It's the building, but the entrance is actually larger than the whole building itself. And so we kind of just want to have like a big pathway, like little patches of grass, I guess. Honestly, maybe even statues or something. How awesome would that be? Just like big old minifigure statues. This is a rough sketch, just a visualization, and then AI can do whatever, Clone base. There's the city, the beginning of the city Coliseum. Actually, I don't know if it might be better to just sketch like that or something. I could easily sketch really rough design. Little Coliseum. Little ball there, down there. And then entrance. So here's the Coliseum. I do want like a big rock structure type dealio to make sure everything's really elevated to be. And these are rocks. You can imagine those are rocks, and so everything. You got the other quadrants of the Colosseum. You kind of do. That's down. Erase the big old line. And then the front of the building is like right here. Erase all this. boop, boop. These are columns. There we go. That's the roof. This is the statue right there. I mean, you guys can have imaginations. You can visualize it. That way, there's a big old facade up front. That's the first thing you see. So then we go, and that pathway continues through the whole thing, and then the theat archway is going to be like right there. You guys can imagine, boop, 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 boop. Erase this line. That way I'm left with space up front and then space on the side. But of course I want to have like a lot of like rock textures like down here. Then it would be nice to have like different layers, like a little dock with a bunch of different types of buildings on it. And of course a boat. Now I gotta prove to myself that, oh, I'm a good drawer, because I am. And so you imagine a bunch of rocks. So that's roughly the idea. And then in between I can always have like big old building here. Erase that. Maybe it's a little bit too tall, because I want this to be like the biggest building, biggest structure, and this one be the most like occupied structure with most people. So since this is the clone base, and it's above, what's gonna be here? So there's certain mysteries, little mystery blotches everywhere. I'm just like, so I'm gonna build up. This is like the start of the table. Let's just say this is the table, and this is a leg. So I gotta start thinking like how tall do I want it to be, because I want you to be able to like access things, but not like have to get a stepping stool. So there's a lot of little things like that, but this is general, like this is like a feed 2.0 is roughly what I want to do. It's like, I don't know how long it's gonna take. Usually takes years, but I don't want to take years. I got the road work, the parts, the time, the energy. So I just gotta cut this up in sections somehow. Like the clone base is already built and Otoh Gunga is not built, so I should probably work somewhere and work my way around to have some sort of systems, like stages. Like this would be stage 1, this is stage 2, and this is stage 3. Stage 2 would be like integrating the clone base with Otoh Gunga. Monsters Inc. is on the background, by the way, if you can't tell by the screams. And so stage 3, I feel like, would be the most like not parts intensive, but most unknown. The city is supposed to be randomly built over time, but this is being built all at once. And 3 stages. Stage 1 is Otoh Gunga. And once I don't be like, oh, once I'm done with it, because it's never done. So it's good to always have things going on. And then there's this unknown area down here. There's just so many possibilities. That's the problem, because I want to do like a coliseum, but then have like an area where they keep the creatures, and I want to have like huge like banthas and crazy things going on down here. A bunch of Minocs, and even like the episode 2, the gladiator scene, pretty much in that little coliseum arena. They had the different like the insect creatures and the rhinos. Why not have like some sort of like whole facility down here facilitating that? And so you can generally see that this is what I want to do for this whole clone base down here. Otoh Gunga, whole feed going on. So That's my story. I want to stick to it.